So essentially, astrology became a tool that I could use to reflect upon, analyze, and understand certain aspects and elements of myself and the way that I interact with the world. And this helped me massively. And as I started to learn more about astrology, I was able to explore things like what potential karmic baggage I might have in this lifetime, what I may have been doing in previous lifetimes, what is the best path for me to follow and work on in this lifetime in order to make some kind of progress and evolution on a soul level. And that kind of stuff is pretty interesting. And I've never really been interested in doing anything on a surface level. I always want to get to the absolute heart of things. I want to get to the deepest level of something and understand it on as deep a level as possible. So I became really, really interested in the more advanced level side of astrology really quite quickly. And I was maybe running before I could walk, really. So I've had to kind of retrace my steps a bit over the last few years and try to fill in the basics, because I just got a bit too excited at the beginning, I guess, and wanted to look at all this past life karmic stuff instead of just figuring out what's your ideal career path or something. So since then I have, that was 4 or 5 years ago. Since then I have really educated myself about different aspects of astrology, and one aspect that's been particularly rewarding and interesting for me is synastry, which is the name for taking 2 astrological charts of 2 different people who are in some kind of personal relationship together and lining them up and looking at the energies between those 2 individuals and the particular challenges or blessings that those 2 people will encounter together. And doing this kind of relationship or compatibility astrology has also brought me a huge amount of peace and understanding in terms of relationship experiences that I've had, both in the past and in the present. And also I started to do astrological work for free for friends, whether it was birth charts to tell them about their personality on all the various different levels and the different little idiosyncrasies and contradictions that exist within them that they might think are terrible, but actually they're part of the very unique, special blueprint of exactly how they were supposed to be and how they were born and how they were ultimately designed by the universe. And it's been really, really rewarding for me actually doing birth charts for people, because I've had it happen to me again and again that people I've done birth charts for have become very emotional and teary and said things like, "Louise, I feel like you've exposed my soul, and I've never felt so seen or understood as I have done from what you've just told me." And I'm not doing any magic trick here. I'm just reeling off what I know. But once I've got somebody's time and date and place of birth, I can kind of see their soul, really. And I can tell them about themselves on a very deep level in a way that just might help them to understand and integrate parts of themselves that they've struggled to understand and integrate, sometimes for a very, very, very long time. And they've wondered if there's something wrong with them. So I find astrology really rewarding in this sense. And recently I've done more and more work with people in terms of more advanced level astrology. So telling people about transits, about particular planetary movements that are going on right now that are going to impact on their life in a certain way this week or this month or this year. And also synastry or relationship compatibility reports. And I've come to the point now where I think I'm good enough to do it as a job. And I'm really excited to do it as a job. Not that there's anything wrong with my actual job as a teacher, but as a teacher, I have always found myself being approached by students, both teenagers and adults, wanting to talk to me about deeply private and personal issues, wanting my ear, wanting my empathy, and also wanting my advice. And it's not really appropriate for me in my position as a school teacher or a university teacher to interact with students in that way, you know, because I'm not a counsellor, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a guidance teacher. Therefore, I should really be redirecting those students to someone else when they come to me wanting to cry on my shoulder and get my advice. But as an astrologer and Reiki practitioner, I feel that I will be able to interact with people on that deeper level, to be there as a listener, as a healer, as a kind of a guide or counsellor, and as somebody that can actually help them to understand some things about themselves and perhaps get themselves on a better path. So that's why I've decided to do this, because as much as I like teaching, it doesn't give me that deep satisfaction of looking into somebody's eyes and knowing that they feel absolutely understood and seen, you know, and astrology does give me that. Doing astrological work and analysis for people does give me that. So that's why I am where I am. I'm really happy about it.